and welcome to my first of hopefully many pregnancy updates. As of today, I am just over 6 weeks, so I want to do my 4 and 5 week updates. I have been watching everybody's update videos to see if what I was going through felt normal, if other people were experiencing the same things that I am. I probably watched every single video. If you posted a video and it has 10 views, I'm one of them. So I found so much comfort in doing that I wanted to do the same thing for everybody else and see if maybe my symptoms and experiences are similar to you. So I'm going to combine the 4th and the 5th week. I'm going to go through each of them separately. I took detailed notes on all of my symptoms during my whole experience, so I can go back and let you know everything that I was feeling. I want to give a little bit of context first. So we ended up getting pregnant on our first try. I have been on birth control for 16 years. We just got married, went on our honeymoon, and I got pregnant on our honeymoon right when I first stopped taking birth control, which is crazy. I did not expect it to happen that fast. Almost every single person I talked to said, oh, it's gonna take months and months for that to get out of your system. Well, it didn't. Also, our honeymoon was in the Maldives, which is a 13-hour time difference. So all the fatigue and these symptoms I thought I was feeling, that I thought, oh, maybe I'm pregnant, could have literally been just serious jet lag, or they could have been symptoms of coming off of birth control, or since deciding to get pregnant, I stopped taking other medications, antidepressants, etc. So there were a lot of things affecting me and going on all at once, and it became very confusing to kind of differentiate, okay, well, is this a symptom of pregnancy or is this a symptom of something else? I was convincing myself I was pregnant. I'm like, okay, I know that this can be a sign of PMS. I haven't had a period off of birth control in a long time. This just could be like a really bad period. But in the back of my head, I knew. I'm like, okay, I've had bad periods before. Just because I was on birth control didn't mean I didn't have periods every single month. I still did, and I knew what those cramps were like. But this was different, not in the intensity, but in almost the type of cramp that it was, and I'll get into that. I had all kinds of different symptoms going on, and I was right. I knew it. I knew it in the back of my head. I knew I was pregnant before I got my big fat positive, and I will be doing a video on that, explaining all of my early symptoms. But this video, I'm gonna stick to weeks 4 and 5. Don't mind me if I reference my notes. By the way, my handwriting is just a mess, but let's just get to it. So let's start with week 4. During week 4, your baby is about the size of a poppy seed, and this is a big week for what's called differentiation. And even though I studied embryology for a while, I don't need to bore everyone with the details of different things going on, but I will say that this is the big week for differentiation. We have the endoderm, the mesoderm, and the ectoderm. So by the end of this week, all of your building blocks are there, which brings us in to the 5th week. Now your baby is the size of an orange seed, which is about 1/20th of an inch. It's itty bitty. Now you're starting to see a primitive heartbeat, the beginnings of a digestive system, and the neural tube, which turns into the brain and spinal cord. By the end of the week, you have these cute 4 little buds that turn into the arms and the little legs. So that's where I am right now, and I have been experiencing a world of symptoms during all of that. So let's start with week 4. In week 4, the biggest thing that I struggled with was just exhaustion. Fatigue doesn't even begin to explain it. I felt like I was borderline narcoleptic. I would be tired, I would hit the pillow, and I would be out. I started to think maybe there's something wrong with me, maybe I'm sick, I don't know what's going on. This was whenever I was in the, oh my God, am I pregnant? I had been peeing on sticks nonstop. The first line was so faint, I thought I was driving myself crazy and just hallucinating and seeing things, which might add up because I was also extremely tired. I thought something was actually wrong with me. I'm like, okay, great, I'm so tired and now I'm seeing things, great. But sneak peek into my future, I'm still peeing on sticks because I'm obsessive about it, and the line keeps getting darker, which is such a relief. The worst headache I have ever had in my life. I woke up in the middle of the night with it. It was on one side, in the back of my head, and like up around on this side, and it just felt like someone was stabbing a knife into my head, and it was just pounding, and I couldn't sleep, and it lasted all the next day. Another thing is my titties hurt, and this is one of the really early signs I first noticed. When I was on birth control, having normal cycles, I never really had breast tenderness at all, and whenever I stopped, and I knew when I was ovulating because I was peeing on those sticks, I noticed that right after that, like 5 days after that, my nipples were really sore. Just my nipples, not the rest of my boob. So it was very weird, and that has continued through the 4th week and has continued through the 5th week. And it's so weird because at least during the 4th week, that was the only spot, and earlier, 4th week and earlier. That was it. The rest of everything else didn't hurt. It was just the nipples. And it got to the point where it was hard to wear anything. Like if I had a bra pushing things down, that kind of provided some relief, so it wasn't like rubbing up against the inside of a shirt, but even that was uncomfortable. I also noticed in this week, which scared me, this was before I got my positive test, and also after happened a few times, I would have really, really sharp pains. Like I remember we were in the car driving to Costco and I was just like, oh my God, ow. And then it happened again. I was like, ow, what the hell? And it was just like on one side, really, really sharp pain. I do not think it was implantation pain because this was past my calculations of when that should have happened, but I did feel a really sharp pain, and the more I look into it, the more it seems like that's just a result of the natural expansion of your uterus. Your body is getting ready for things to take up more space, so it's stretching a little bit and you get a lot of sharp pains. I also have noticed if I sneeze, and this happened a few times in the 4th week, if I had sneezed, afterwards I would get like a sharp pain too, which was a little scary. This is, and by the way, I'm just gonna warn you guys, all these videos are going to be TMI. This is, you know, my body. I am pregnant and this is just, you know, stuff that happens. Everybody poops, right? Diarrhea is a thing that I have heard a lot of people talk about. I haven't really experienced much of that. I also have not experienced very much nausea, so that's just something I'll look forward to. And weirdly enough, I'm hoping for it. You know, the more symptoms you get, the more kind of relieved you feel that things are going well. So it's kind of strange to be like, I hope I shit myself and puke, but I hope I shit myself and puke. Speaking of bodily fluids, there is a lot of discharge, at least for me. There was more in the 4th week and earlier than now than the 5th week and now in the 6th week. So who knows where I'll be. I'll keep you very much posted. I know all of you are just dying to know about that, but it's a thing that happens. And it gets really scary sometimes too, because at least for me, I would pretty regularly get my period just every 4th Wednesday. Wednesday was my day. And you prepare for it because you know it's coming, so you prepare for it. But I would always know the second it actually started, because you can feel a little bit of wetness, right? And you get that sensation. You're like, ah, gotta go to the bathroom. That's been happening to me, and I've been feeling really panicky about it because I'm like, oh my God, I'm bleeding, but I'll go to the bathroom and it's just discharge. So it's a huge relief, but it's something that I have to get used to, because normally with that volume, I only get that when I'm about to start my period, and so my brain goes, uh-oh, bleeding, and that's just me. Maybe I'm paranoid, but it's something that I've definitely had to get used to, and I wear a lot of panty liners. There you go. I am hungry. I've read a lot of people lose their appetite. That's not something I have experienced. The 4th week was hungry, was actually pretty hungry. 5th week, even more hungry. 6th week, getting more hungry. I think I'm just gonna eat anything. I mean, if you were in my house right now, you might be for lunch, so maybe stay away from me right now. I am one hungry woman. Cramping, I feel like that's the obvious next thing to talk about. I have had a lot of cramping, but it's like I said, it's like a weird, not a PMS cramp. It feels similar. It feels very eerily similar to a PMS cramp, but it's more widespread, I guess. It just feels like everything is almost like pulling out instead of, I would sometimes joke, I'm so sorry for the TMI. I would sometimes joke during PMS and be like, oh my God, I feel like my uterus is gonna fall out. It's just like a very downward pressure that I would get for PMS, and this is very much like a more outward kind of overall pressure. It feels like someone is literally like on top of me pushing down on my lower abdomen. And it's almost like a constant cramp. Sometimes it kind of goes away, but it's something that's been always just kind of there. More so, I would say, in the 4th week for me than the 5th week. Moving on to the 5th week. Definitely more hungry, still have the cramps, still have nipple tenderness, but it's kind of increased now to more like overall breast tenderness, and it was really bad one night. I woke up in the middle of the night, which by the way, I wake up several times every night to pee. I have to pee all of the time. It's super annoying. I thought I was already like that, and I would complain and be like, I always have to get up and pee. I hate that girl now because now I have to pee. And I remember one night, whenever I sat up to get up to go to the bathroom, it felt like when I got implants and there was a lot of swelling, the feeling of laying down to sitting up, it brings all the fluid down, and it's just like, it feels like you're on fire. It's just like a really intense pain. And I remember the other night when I had to get up to pee, I did that and it was a similar feeling, and I was like, ow, why? My boobs are gonna get giant. I've heard a lot of people talk about having vivid dreams. That's not something that I've really experienced outside of normal. I typically do have a lot of vivid dreams, so the frequency of that hasn't really changed at all. I've heard a lot of people talk about getting acne. I haven't really experienced much of that. I have like a little something right here, but for the most part, not a whole lot of acne. Definitely feeling a lot of bloating. It is very frustrating. It's like, I know that whenever you're this early, you don't really show, but I look at myself and I'm like, I don't know, I see something, but it's probably just entirely gas, which is great. Also, I'm like very itchy. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like my arms are itchy. Oh, like this right here feels great. My armpits get itchy, my back gets itchy. I'm just itchy and bitchy. I hate myself for making bad jokes, but I just cannot hold myself back. But yes, bitchy. I am definitely moody. I can feel my hormones just going crazy. I cry for no reason. I can literally be totally fine and I don't even have like a thought or something that makes me sad cross my mind. I'll just cry. And David will be like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. Sad? Why? Because sad, and that's actually the answer? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah, easily irritated and just, I don't know. Grumpy, and I'm feeling frumpy, and I'm itchy, and I'm gross, but I'm excited, and everything is wonderful. That kind of covers everything. I know it's pretty typical for people to do like the this is my belly app, but I mean, I don't feel like there's really a whole lot going on. I'll stand up and show you though. This definitely not, in my opinion, something that you would know, but this will be cool to look back on whenever I am huge. So this is my belly. This is my belly. There's a baby in here somewhere. Hello, I love you. And now for the husband perspective, dear.
All right, so this is right around the time that the husband finds out that the wife here is pregnant. So first off, there's all of the surprise that goes into finding out, which is really exciting. But then also, you know, now I have a responsibility as the sidekick to be there. So from my perspective, she was a little sleepier. She was a little bit crankier. You know, I can do very simple things like mentioning Taco Bell, and she will instantly become happy. I found that she was continually microwaving the heat pad so that she could put that on her belly or back or neck. So I found a nice, very cheap alternative that plugs in, so that way we don't have to keep running the microwave on it. And I have watched all of the videos that she has told me to watch about each week and what is going to happen and what is happening with her body, and I am a scientist now. I've been making her mocktails so she feels like it's not too different. She doesn't like sparkling water, so by putting a little bit of sparkling water into her mocktails, it's sort of like the bitterness or whatever of alcohol, so it tricks her completely.
Also, everyone always sees me drinking and stuff online, so to not have a drink in my hand in videos or streams would just look weird. So I've been drinking this like fake, what is this? You said you used to drink this stuff when you were little.
Oh, this is like at synagogue when you haven't had your bar mitzvah yet, you drink this kind of stuff. Once you have your bar mitzvah, you go straight to the hard stuff. Okay. It's all down here right now. So we have...
Oh, my gas is ready.
I have implanted in her uterine lining now. It's created the yolk and the sac, like an egg.
Aw. Look at him, he's been doing all his video research.
I have been.
Alright, I don't know how to end this, so thank you to everybody watching my 4 and 5 week update.
But I do have to warn you that week 6 will start to have a little bit of morning sickness.
Some people don't get it until like 7 or 8 weeks. Some people don't get it at all.
Well, luckily...
I want it. I want it. Then I'll feel like I'm even more pregnant, and that'll make me have like comfort. Oh. Like, yeah, I'm throwing up. That means my hormone levels are high. That means baby is good.
Yep.
Every day that I don't get sick, I get more scared.
You're gonna be okay.
Am I gonna puke?
I'll puke right there with you.
Thank you, babe. Well, subscribe to our family channel. We're Frank family, even bigger Frank family now. And yeah.
Exciting. Exciting.
See you later.